networks. Tell us about networking. Because I know you and networking.
Yeah.
Mko hapa.
Tunaenda hivi.
Yeah,
Tunaenda hivi.
What's the secret?
Yeah. Networking.
Yeah.
I never miss an opportunity to network. I never miss even a security person.
And when you talk about it, tell us, what do you do? Just like tell us, like educate. Young people here, they're watching. Educate us. Yeah.
The very first thing I learned is put yourself out there. I'm always in webinars, I'm always in meetings, and that is when I had a lot of time before I now got into employment that tied me. That is when I started. You know, I used to go to, when those things, the free events used to be published, UN, US Embassy, I used to go there. That is how because at the end of, and I used actually to clad, you'd think I'm one of the envoys there.
Yeah.
I used to be in my three-piece, and you know, I would understand also what exactly is being discussed. Getting into some of those rooms, for sure, needs you to have an idea what is transpiring in those rooms. You have to really be smart enough to know what exactly are these people up to. So that as they are contributing, you also throw in a sentence or two, a statement, and then they're like, so then that is how you get on board. So over the years, I have not wasted an opportunity, whether it is from a small kid or a security person at the gate. I always have, because you may think that security person is the person who does not have any networking you know, gigs, but is the one who will tell you the time, you know, the boss gets in or something, you know, so that kind of conversation. So I've always just had that simplicity mindset, and being able to be listening to what is happening, listening to the room, what is exactly happening. And I do not just filter, for example, if it is business, I don't just concentrate on business events, for example. I have attended engineering events that I have no idea. I have totally no idea of. I've attended, you know, School of Medicine events that I have nothing. You know,
but it has helped you.
But it has helped me because when I get in there, I've met, you know, people who make decisions, or who sit in decision panels.
Wow.
And I have never wasted an opportunity. I just repeat that. I have never wasted an opportunity. I present myself.
You know, most people, they don't understand the power of networking. But I remember for me, I took quite some time before I understood what networking is. That was more than 25 years, you know. Then someone telling me, but what are your networks? I'm like, I'm looking at my phone contacts. I'm like, hey, and I don't see anyone, you know. Then it actually made me, it actually pushed me to start creating relationship with people, getting out. Some people will say, you know, I'm introverted. I can't maybe connect with people and all that, you know.
I have always said I'm also introverted to some extent. But when I'm out with people, I leave that. You know, I leave that behind because I now get exposed as much. And also I don't contribute in topics that I don't understand. I don't contribute so much. I wait, listen in, then give my comments. But what is more important, or what has been the catch for me, is going, I mean, the confidence that I've built over the years.
True.
There's no other person who's going to present you or to do it on your behalf. You have to gather that kind of, you know, confidence and, you know, step into that room, that office. I have never had any fear. If I am supposed to step, if I know my help is going to come from that office or that room, trust you me, that is the room I'm going to knock.
Let the room notice you.
Let me go there and get rejected. Fine, I tried.
True.
They sent me away. That's fine. And I get that so many times. For example, I'll give you an example of LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very powerful tool, and you know, those ones who are listening to me can be able to use that. I've been able to link and to speak just through connecting with them and then going to their, you know, direct messages and being able to say, and you know, the way you introduce yourself is very important. It should be very brief. I always very brief. I'm so and so. I do this. I have done this. You know, I capture their attention first, and then I say, now, can you help me in 1, 2, 3 things? I've been able to get gigs in that. I've been able to present. I've been able to speak in conferences, both locally, internationally, because
Yeah.
of just one or two messages and how I present them. So I just urge everyone who's listening to me,
Yeah.
there is no harm. The only thing they can always say is just like in dating, they always tell us that the only thing she can say is no. It is the same.
True.
The only thing that person you want to network or you want to talk
Yeah.
to is the only thing they can say, or they may not respond. That is the only thing. There is
True.
nothing they will do.
Yeah.
That is the only, and it will never affect you. So never shy away from stepping into those rooms and presenting your case. Defend your case. Yeah.
What's your perspective or your thought in terms of mentorship? As a young person, what's your perspective or thought?
Mentorship is the best thing that has happened to me.
Yeah.
I have not done this or I have not grown, by my own will.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I've been mentored by professors. I've been mentored by university doctors. I've been mentored by industry players. Even in my current job that I'm doing, I manage an area, but I look up to advice from those ones who passed there before me.
Yeah.
Mentorship is the biggest, assets that a young person, or even old people get mentored. But
Yeah,
for a young
sure.
person, that is the biggest asset you can always have, to be mentored, to have somebody who you see or who you feel like this person, we are in the same, line.
Yeah.
For example, if I'm an engineer, then I'll get a couple of engineers, 1, 2, 3, go to them, tell them I've done this and this and this, then they can walk me through that door. You can never do this thing alone. You need exposure, and
Yeah,
exposure comes
true.
from mentorship.
True.
That is when now people give you ideas and you're like, so this also existed.
Yeah.
I never
get
thought of it
yeah.
like this. How did you do it? And then that is how you open up your ideas or your brains into it. So mentorship is, and I urge every young person who's listening to me
Okay.
to find a mentor. Mentors are young people. They could be older people. They could be anyone, your parents and everyone.
Yeah.
But at least find someone who unlocks some kind of curtains for you.
True.
That is when you can now see
That's
the light.
powerful. Yeah. So, because you're a young person and you're a man, following the trends in the country, you realize that most young men is like they are into so much pressure. A reason maybe you find that there are so many suicidal cases. Okay. Basically, maybe 80% will say it's related to money issues. So, what's your take? What can you say?
That is the biggest problem or trouble we have currently is, like I said, is the fear of missing out. Everyone feels like they're so late, even myself. Sometimes when you go back to your room at night, you're just like, oh my God, I needed to have jumped 16 steps, I did 8.
Yeah.
How am I going to recover those 8? And everything in the current world boils down to financial stability or finances.
Yeah.
Everything is monetary. If you want a good house, if you want to move, anything
Yeah.
will come down to finances. Even when you want to date,
Yeah.
you will not go to somebody's daughter, for example, and be able to just present your case and say, okay, after 2 years, I'll be somewhere. No.
Yeah.
You have to be, you have to go out and do all that kind of thing. But I'd say one thing. These things are built not in one day. There are steps. It's a staircase.
Yeah.
And it is a roller coaster. They are built day in, day out. You just don't. That is how I've also been told.
Okay.
There are those times where I feel, no, I should be doing something. I should be living in, I should be driving.
Yeah.
It cannot work. And I would just tell, the young men who are listening to me to give grace to themselves, to allow themselves time.
Let things align
Let
themselves.
things align. Things will always, as
Yeah.
long as you have that scoreboard, as long as you have that vision
Yeah.
that you want to, where you want to be, some take time. And for sure, there are people who have luck. There are people who have, a head start. For example, my father is a minister, so then
Yeah, true.
I
Just
automatically have a
right.
head start.
Yeah.
You can't compete with such kind
Yeah,
of person
exactly.
if competition was a factor,
Yeah.
for example. So you never understand where somebody is coming from. You may see somebody prospering very fast or, jumping steps very quickly, but you never know what is cooking
Yeah,
until
true.
maybe you speak to them and they give their story, and their story may even be false.
Yeah.
They may not tell you all the details, you know.
Yeah.
So just give grace to yourself, allow yourself some time, look at all the options you have, vet them, filter out those ones that you feel like, you know, are not the best for you at that particular time. Maybe they'll come in later, and then things will align themselves.
Have you faced challenges in life, and how do you handle them?
Serious ones. Serious ones. Serious challenges.
One or two, maybe you can mention, maybe one. Like, let me say, put you down to a point whereby
Yeah.
you needed help.
I need help. Yeah, and one of them is also in relationships.
Okay.
I got myself sometime into a relationship, and you know, dating some of these young girls is a problem. And you know, the way somebody thinks, the way somebody thinks, and the way you think is so different.
Okay.
And you feel like you had invested so much in terms of time, emotions, you know, you've invested so much.
Okay.
And you maybe had seen 10, 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Maybe they had just seen 2, 3, 4 months.
Yeah.
So then you get into problems. You get into problems.
How
and
did you?
You get into problems, and
Okay.
I'm that kind of person who, and even right now as I'm talking, yeah, just because I want to share my story, I never share most of the time. I face that internal conversation, the monologue.
Okay. Yeah.
I talk to myself. You know, keep things inside.
True.
You know, they may be eating me up, but
Yeah.
I always know, you know, they're going to face out. So normally I always dip or dive into maybe career or other things I'm doing. I also write, by the way.
Yeah.
I am a columnist. I write articles for the Global School Advocacy Program under the Sustainable Development for United Nations. So I go in there, do research, write. You know, I just take my focus away from that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I try as much. Sometimes I get drawn there, but I fight.
But do you think it's better to address them as opposed to finding ways to escape?
Addressing your problems is one of the actually facing your problems head on is one of the best things that you can ever do. I've started to appreciate that.
Okay.
These days I have 1 or 2 friends. You know, I would call them and you know, take them out, or you know, agree we can sit somewhere. And then I speak in third person. I don't say it is me.
It is me.
I now
But
say,
at least you've talked it out.
I now say no.
That's the
Now
best.
there is this.
Yeah.
I'm actually talking about myself.
At times I do that. I'm like, there's this friend of mine.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So I do that, and then they respond.
Yes.
And then I add the and how about it happened like this?
Yes.
Then they also give me their person. Okay. So I'll tell him that, and then that time it is me. I'm talking about myself.
Yeah.
So, but I've started appreciating, you know, talking
Okay.
about my things,
Yeah.
talking out my things, you know, myself. I mean, about myself, and saying, you know, I have problems here. In business, for example, you can't hide.
Yeah. True.
If finances are hitting you, you know, you can't. They'll be shown. You can't hide from it.
True.
You have to be honest enough, and that one I go to family. I've like I said, I have very supportive brother, sister, mother, and father. I go to them, speak to them, and say, "Hi, me, I'm stuck here."
Yeah,
I used to feel like, and you know, our parents, or rather where we come from, is like when they send you out and you have a job, and you know the company you're working for has a very good profile, and so on. So you always have that phobia of going back to your parents or brother and saying, you know, I'm stuck.
Yeah. True.
You always feel like you've let them down, or they'll start questioning, na hiyo pesa ulipeleka wapi?
Yeah.
Or what are you doing with your money? Some such kind of things, because they know what you're earning and so on, and they know you, so they're like, so we've been able to address that, my parents. Just me going back to them, they always tell me, please, if you have issues, come back to us. There's nowhere else, and I play to the advantage of being a last one, so I go back to them and now cry and now say, no, I'm stuck here. So addressing your challenges, actually facing them head on,
Yeah, it's a very good thing.
is the head start.
Yeah.
If you hide through it, then they'll always hit you back, and they always hit you back at that moment where you don't expect, where you least expect. You may be thriving in other sectors, and that thing that you ignored comes back to you to eat you up at that kind of time. It will bring you down.
Yeah.
It will bring your mood down and everything, and you may lose things that maybe you've worked for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as we wind up, I know we can talk from now or from
Exactly,
today
exactly.
to the next day.
Absolutely.
You know. So let me ask you, you're doing this tomato business. How can people reach out to you? If, let me say, are you selling them to people or to companies? Like, how do you do it? Just in case someone wants to.
Yeah. So it's a 3D. We sell to supermarkets. We sell to Carrefour. That is for one.
Wow.
And then we sell them to the local market. Now in Narok, for example, proximity from Narok to Kisii is near. We don't bring our tomatoes to, it's only Carrefour, maybe bring to Nairobi. Otherwise, the rest we take them to Kisii because it is nearer, the market is, you know, the prices are good and so on. And so that is where we monitor because we have our people on that side who give us, you know, the pricing and everything. And also now we sell to the locals around Narok town and so on. And you know, you may harvest, for example, so many tons. So the ones that remain, you sell them, you know, around there, and then we proceed. If somebody wants to reach out to me, I'll be so happy to have that discussion with them. We are doing a partnership with Amiran, that is the Israeli, the one that now gives us the seeds. They're the ones who propagate the seeds for us before we plant and so on. We are in talks. So if you can put my contact out there through your channel, I'm happy to connect.
I'd love you to talk to young people, like especially the men. At least encourage, even if it's one person,
Exactly.
it goes a long way.
Exactly.
You know, because we are 25, Collins, 25 years. We've done so much, of which I feel like if you just encourage one man or one guy just to give him a hope, you know, a shoulder to lean on, to be a very good
The best thing to do.
Yeah.
I own now my camera,
Yes.
so I can speak and speak to them. And actually, even before that, I would say all of us go through struggles. We have so much, and there's a teacher when I was in high school who used to tell me, you can't solve everybody's problems, or
true.
even your own. You can't solve all of them. You can only deal with 1, 2, 3, and leave the rest to deal with. I mean, to align. So I just say there is so much one person can do. So maybe I just say, like, to all the young men out there, maybe say start at the age of 23 to around 30. That is where the pressure is. You know, there's just a lot you can do, but there's so limited in terms of time and resources that can allow you, you know, to compact all of them together. The inertia that comes with all that is so huge. You may be, you can fall anytime. Give grace to yourself, allow yourself time. These things only happen one step at a time. They grow, you know, exponentially, slowly. That is how you get to understand, and also you get to appreciate, you know, where you're coming from. You get to appreciate where you want to go and exactly what you want to do. Have a vision board, have a scoreboard for yourself. Plan everything, and a plan is one of the best things that you can have. Plan for everything, don't just do things. Plan for everything, have a vision board, discuss it out. Find a team that aligns with your goal. You can only do less when you're alone. Find a team, find 1 or 2 if they are friends, colleagues, whatever you describe them. Bring them on board, have those discussions, form and create a very strong bond, and then that is how you come out and blossom very quickly. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Collins.
Thanks so much.
You know, like the sacrifice you've done all the way from Mombasa, uko hapa, and you're shooting this. I'm like,
and actually yesterday,
like,
when you're telling me yesterday that we have this shoot today at 10, I was just like, no, 10, no, can't have. And I told you I was at work. I didn't actually tell you I was in coast. So driving down from Mombasa to Nairobi, because I value giving out advice and telling my story. If it can change one person, doesn't need to be 10, just one.
Absolutely.
Then the better.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
To my viewers, this is Story Corner with Sifa Catamy. What I can say is, it is an amazing time that we've had with Collins here. I hope that you'll get 1 or 2 things from our discussion today. And definitely, I cannot end this video without mentioning Pride in Azure here again. It's an amazing place with amazing facilities. And also, if you want to buy electronics, we have Sitam Technologies, whereby you can buy your phones, you can buy your children tablets, you can even buy laptops. And even if you want to put CCTV installation in your house, this is the best company to reach out to. Have a nice time. Follow me on Instagram, Sifa Catamy. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sifa Catamy, and Facebook, Sifa Catamy Story Corner.